to the short film show for the Raindance Film Fest YouTube channel. We're going to interview Tristen Shepherd, actor and co-producer of 1,000 Empty Glasses. Welcome everybody to the Raindance YouTube channel. We're here with Tristen Shepherd for a movie called 1,000 Empty Glasses. He's a co-producer and an actor as well. Could you tell us something about the movies, please?
Sure. The film is a 1930s period drama set in southern France, and it's about a young man's journey to self-discovery and self-acceptance.
As an actor and as co-producer, is it difficult to work in both sides of the thing?
Yeah, it was really difficult. It was quite stressful. The location that we had actually was my parents' house in the south of France, and it probably sleeps about 5, 6 comfortably, and there was about 9 of us there. So not only was I trying to organise everything and get into character, I was also kind of stressed out that my parents' stuff was getting broken and moved and lost and all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely a challenge. Yeah.
I know that you work on a crowdfunding. Could you tell something about that?
Yeah, we raised the money through a crowd fundraising website called WeFund. And then we received some private donations on top of that. But as a whole, that was generated by the fact that we were doing this crowd fundraising thing. So we would receive some donations through PayPal, through that website, and then other sort of friends and family who had heard of that and didn't want to go through the website were then donating to us privately. And yeah, we had about 5 weeks to raise. I think we set a target of about £3,000, and we ended up raising more in the region of about 5. So, yeah. So thank you for WeFund.
Are you working on another project, and do you think to use the same channel?
Well, I think the interesting thing about crowd fundraising is that you sort of build up this membership of donors. You know, everyone who donated to the project we have on a mailing list, and we update them when we get into things like Raindance or any other festivals or any other kind of news that we have. So we have this sort of supporter system now, which we didn't have before. And we did actually return to crowd fundraising when we went to Palm Springs International Short Festival, which was our first festival, and we wanted to raise some money for publicity when we were there. And so we did go back to the same donors, and some of them redonated again.
How about the cast and crew? Did you work with them for the first time?
We're all the main core people who worked on this project, all trained together at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art as actors. The director is an actor. We were all in the same year. Me and the other co-producer, Michael Stevenson, are actors. And then all the cast are actors, and the writer was an actor as well. So it was essentially, it was born out of a place of actors getting quite frustrated at waiting around for work to arrive, for their agents to call, or for a big job to land in their lap. And so it just started really in a pub after we'd made like a short sort of improvised film for the internet. And my friend said to me, Michael, the co-producer, he said, "Shall we make a short film in France?" And I was like, "Okay," and it just went from there. So we're a group of friends, and we've sort of newly christened Take Cover Films after this project, and we intend to work together on the next few projects as well, and see where we can go with that.
So you worked together on a previous short as well?
Well, me and Andrew, the director, had set up a sort of internet kind of artistic experiment called Spontaneous Reels. And it was kind of like 48-hour films, you know, so you'd come up with the idea on Friday, shoot it on Saturday, and edit it on Sunday, and then it would go up online. And they were all amateur stuff, no professional sounds, just a handheld camera, and they were a bit kind of surreal comedy sort of films. And so yeah, that's where we started, and then we wanted to move on and make something that was of a higher standard, something professional. And so we did a 1930s period drama, which was a bit of a funny change from what we were doing, but yeah.
Actually, this short seems to be really high professional, the way it's shoot and so on. Maybe you work with a very good director of photography. Or
We work with an excellent director of photography who actually, I think he did some courses at Raindance. Eben Bolter is his name. He was our DOP, and he was also DOP on one of the UK nominated features at Raindance called Confine. And he is fantastic, as you can see from the shots in the film. And we hope to work with him again. He's excellent.
how did the idea of 1,000 empty glasses come up? I mean, for the writer.
Yeah, good question. Like I said, the sort of idea was like we came in, we were in a pub and we were like, let's make a film in the south of France. And so we started with a location, and I knew the area quite well. And then we knew Mark was a writer, so we started with the location and with 3 actors. And I went to Mark and I described in detail, certain areas of France, of where my parents lived. You've seen the film, so like the cross. I described that to him, and the creek, where they're fishing. And then I told him, these are the actors that we have. Write us something that's cheap and producible. And he wrote a 1930s period drama, and I was really angry at him for doing it. And then I read it and I was like, well, we have to make it. The village that it was mainly set in is very remote. There's no shops. The houses have quite a timeless sort of feeling to them. And then there's another nearby town that you can't redevelop it. You can only restore it. The French are very sort of good at preserving their history and stuff. I think after we'd filmed it was called La Grasse. After we'd filmed there, 2 weeks later, Ridley Scott was filming a medieval film there called Labyrinth on the same bridge that we'd filmed on. So it's quite a popular spot because it's so untouched. So that was a gift, the thing. But obviously, like, we filmed in a house which belonged to my parents, and they've got very good taste, and they have given it has quite a timeless feel, but nonetheless they have modern appliances like ovens and things like that, which we couldn't really move. So there was a lot of set dressing, and there's light switches and stuff. There's lots of if you watch the film over and over, you might start noticing like there's little flowers. These little flowers keep popping up, and they're just covering electrical switches or whatever. And also the film's shot quite close. Apart from when we're out in the countryside, it rarely pulls wide, which is partly Andrew's sort of feeling of, because it's mainly set around that party scene, so partly his sort of trying to give it like a drunken feel, but also because he's restricted from pulling really wide because of the modern stuff around. Yeah. So it was very challenging, and I think probably frustrating for Andrew as a director. But I think we got away with it.
So what about you? So you told us that you would like to work as a director for next project, and even a producer as well, or an actor?
The plan is that the way Take Cover Films is planning to function is that while one of us is directing, there's a core of 4 of us, and while one of us is directing, the others are having an opportunity to act or be involved creatively somehow. Now, there was an argument about who was to direct the next film, so we decided just to direct 3 at once, which is very ambitious. We will see whether we manage to pull it off, but we've chosen 3 scripts from 3 different writers, and Andrew will direct another one, me and Michael, the co-producer, will direct as well, and then we all have parts in each other's films, and so we're giving ourselves the opportunity to direct and act and be multitaskers.
That's great.
Yeah.
So did you create a sort of company, or you just a group of friends that used to work together?
Well, we started as a group of friends, and now, we're, I suppose, sort of encouraged by the success of this film and being able to screen at places like Raindance and Palm Springs. We've become a bit more serious about it, and we are trying to create, a company, and instead of coming at it as individual filmmakers, we're coming as a group. A group who produce films, which is slightly different, I think. Mm-hmm. I think I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I guess our unique selling point is that we're not coming at it as from the perspective of an individual independent filmmaker, but as a group of filmmakers who produce work collectively. Although they can express their individual creativity within that, there's a responsibility to one another to offer each other the opportunity to work, essentially, to give each other acting jobs and directing jobs. And then just from sort of being in film and doing film, we Andrew edited this film, and I'm an editor as well. So, and I think that's the nature of where this sort of the digital age of film has pushed people, is that so many of these directors are editors now. And essentially, we are able to call upon a pool, instead of calling on our own pool of talent, we're able to call on the group's pool of talent, which opens up many more doors than maybe I could just open up by myself. And I think that's what puts us at an advantage. I guess the disadvantage of it is that decisions take longer to get made because there's 4 strong minds or not always necessarily agreeing, and everyone in some way has to be pleased. So we have to juggle more egos, but we are working with it.
Is there any advice that you can give to new young directors or young producers or actors as well?
I think the advice I would give is just take charge of your own destiny. Just make it happen for you, especially to start with. I think the only people you can really rely on is yourself to start with, or if you have some really good friends, and then as you build up some experience, and I'm only just starting this as well, so I'm hoping that I'll open up more doors. But yeah, just go and do it, and you can. All these cameras and stuff are so cheap now. What we're filming on right now, 60D, is what we filmed our film on, and that's £600-700, and it used to be, I don't know how much, but and you can get a final cut and that kind of stuff, and you can suddenly make movies for a few £1,000s. So yeah, I would say just get out there and give it a go, and don't be afraid of failing, because that happens all the time. Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot.
No problem at all. Thank you. Thank you to Raindance for giving us the opportunity to screen our efforts here at the festival.
Hope you enjoyed the interview. If you missed the previous one, click here and please subscribe to the channel. We will bring you more and more interviews. Stay tuned.